Tonight, from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. It's the Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Second down at 5. Play action. It's Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McKee. And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. McKee. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 45-yard line. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They'll run on first down. McKee. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Up the middle they go. McKee, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Herbert. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. Atlanta now coming out on the field. One semi-factor, if you want to call it that was brought up in the papers this morning here, Charles. You got a dome team on the road in a cold weather environment, first round of the playoffs in January. Do you think that's a big deal?
Ordinarily, I say no, but in this situation, because you're used to that perfectly controlled environment, some coaches will want their teams exposed to it. And if you're coming from a warm weather place and, you know, even getting outside of your dome doesn't really help you, a lot of times they'll go on the road a little bit earlier. Go to a cold weather place, go to a place where there's a little bit of weather and practice there that week before the game to try and simulate the conditions they expect come game day.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the gun on 3rd down, Decker, and he's got his man. That's Fountain. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Decker, and this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there, nearly an opening drive INT.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Seibert able to knock this one through. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Now a handoff up the middle. McKee, and he'll power his way up near the 25.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. Here's Herbert. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Dickens. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 2nd down, Dickens. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down. Now a give right side. Dickens. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on 3rd down, Decker. And they try to set up the screen, but that almost disaster as it falls incomplete. Very nearly a turnover, but it's 4th down. Seibert's kick is good, and that will make it 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, In 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Up the middle they go. McKee. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Herbert off the bootleg. Out. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
That play was hard to see. One play goes wrong, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and very long when they had been in 2nd and inches.
Yeah, I know you like the idea of taking a shot on 2nd and inches, but you can't take a sack for that big of a loss.
That's the one thing you cannot do. They gave it up, and now they're way behind the chains. Good luck with this next play call.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Now it's Herbert. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Back to throw. Decker over the middle, open is Thomas. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. They'll try the left side. Dickens. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. contact. Brings up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Decker.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
It looked like they had the run stopped at the line of scrimmage, but the hand got up into the face mask, and the officials, they were looking for it. They spotted it.
It's an easy call, too, when it's right in front of them. You see that neck twist just a little bit, and that's enough to draw the flag.
6-0 our score after 1. They'll run on first down. Dickens. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Decker to the right side and complete to Thomas.
And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Back to throw. Decker. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Falcons go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Panthers about ready to take over.
And you work so hard during the regular season to earn that bye to go to the divisional round fresh. Well, maybe they're too fresh because they've come out here pretty flat.
And how many times have we seen it? And let's go to other sports now. Let's go to basketball, baseball, those ones where the playoffs are a series. And you see teams who were playing before versus the team that had the bye, and they take them on. And how many often does that team that's been playing before win game 1?
Right.
Almost always, right? Feels that way anyway.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McKee
had a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. They'll roll him out right.
Throw right side here taken in by Bateman. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Going for it all. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Rashad Bateman, 28 yards. And the Panthers have got it back to within a score.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
To throw on second down. Decker. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up third down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Decker. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Carolina offense about ready to go. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw here, Herbert. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Herbert now. And that is incomplete. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta regains possession of the football. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. This pass hauled in by Dotson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
On 2nd down now, Dickens. And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
On 3rd down, Decker, and that is incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And his throw here's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And here now come the Falcons. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
To throw on third down. Decker. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And that'll bring up fourth down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Herbert off of play action. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a give right side. McKee, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. The Panthers on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15. Herbert got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13 to 10.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Up the middle they go. Dickens. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On first down, Decker. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Decker.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up fourth down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again.
They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well.
Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Herbert's throw complete there to Bateman.
He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Okay, I'm not a fan of any routes that just, turn around defensive backs, mainly because I was a defensive back. But the comeback route is so difficult because to sell it, you're selling it like it's a deep route before you come back towards either the line of scrimmage or the sideline. And, boy, that one worked to perfection.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Herbert back to the air.
He'll find Bateman once more. Now Herbert got to get him to the line in a hurry.
To throw again on second down. Herbert. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On third down, Herbert. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. Fourth down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC Divisional Round game. And it was the Green Bay Packers who will continue on in these playoffs as they defeat the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. To throw on second down. Decker. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Decker. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Herbert on first down now. On the move to his left. His throw incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on to kick it away. Able to slither by.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Decker, and Thomas has it. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when you're...
Can't get away, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We've still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return.
Now the offense for the Panthers here, getting the football back. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Throwing to start the drive. Decker. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Operating from the gun. Decker. Throw left side, complete. That's Fowler. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now a handoff up the middle. Dickens, and he'll be tackled at about the 35.
46 yards on the ground for him so far. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Operating from the gun.
Decker. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
And it will be Falcon football.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. On 2nd down, Dickens. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. On 1st and 10, Decker.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Back to throw. Decker. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. On 1st down, Dickens.
58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Dickens. And a short gain down to about the 33.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Throwing on first down. Decker over the middle. It's complete.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Brewer. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Up the middle they go. Dickens, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Falcons will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Out of the gun, Herbert.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. McKee, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Up the middle they go. McKee, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking middle, and that's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28. Looking to throw. Herbert. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. Wide open receiver, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Herbert throwing middle, and it's complete. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter, you're going. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And this one is right through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So out come the Falcons now. And right now, they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Dickens, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Decker.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
To throw on third down, Decker throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 43. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw. Decker eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. So the false start will back them up 5. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Decker. He gets it to Thomas.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
On 1st down, Decker.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Quick slant, Dotson.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. They'll try and run the option left side. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from 5 yards out.
And the Falcons are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index, because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And this one not officially in the bag, but it's looking more and more like you and I are going to be in these same seats next week for a game to go to the Super Bowl.
And it's contrary to our meeting with the visitors, wasn't it? Remember when we went over to their hotel before the game, and one of the themes they kept hitting us with was, let's put the pressure on the #1 seed and see if they can handle it. Let's do that. Well, they're the #1 seed for a reason. Best team all year long. They're showing it again in this game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Looking to throw. Herbert looking middle, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. Up the middle they go. McKee, and he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
From the 50, here's Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. 4th down for Herbert. Desperation time.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Herbert. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Kaiir Elam makes a pick, and the Falcons are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Dickens. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now a handoff up the middle. Dickens, and he's stopped up short of the 1st as they tackle him down at about the 36. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So now the Panthers down by 2 touchdowns. Just over 1:40 to play. This crowd has stayed with them throughout, but they need 2 late scores to advance in these playoffs as they've got a 1st down.
Throwing, Herbert.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
Herbert.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
2nd and 9. Now Herbert.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
Herbert going to throw.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Herbert.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship, and do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Charlotte, good night, everybody.